I want to bring a fascinating little anthropological study to your attention. Now, this recent study, published in the journal Science, examined the genetic code of 32 Pygmy people from the Indonesian island of Flores. Now, the island of Flores is a really interesting place. Most relevant to the subject at hand, Flores was the place where scientists discovered the Homo floresiensis, or what would be known as the Hobbit people. The skeletons are those of diminutive humanoids, standing about a meter tall, who lived on the island but went extinct around 60,000 years ago. Today, the Flores Island is still home to a population of remarkably short people, called Pygmies. The researchers wanted to see if there was any genetic link between the ancient H. floresiensis and the contemporary Pygmy peoples. So they sampled DNA from 32 Pygmies who were living near the caves where the first Homo floresiensis was discovered, and they began comparing this DNA to that of other humans, both modern and ancient. What the researchers found was pretty wild. The Pygmies had no shared DNA with the Homo floresiensis. They did have traces of DNA from Neanderthals and Denisovans, but they didn't have any from any other ancient human lineages. This suggests that the Pygmy people are relatively modern in their emergence, as opposed to having continued on in the lineage of the Homo floresiensis. The researchers also say, quote, "Modern individuals bear the signatures of recent positive selection encompassing the fatty acid desaturase gene cluster, likely related to diet, and polygenic selection acting on standing variation that contributed to their short stature phenotype." Unquote. This means that the specific gene mutations that contribute to the short height of the Pygmies are actually relatively modern emergences. They come from modern lineages. The conclusion of this paper strongly suggests that insular dwarfism appeared not once, but at least twice. The human populations living on Flores not once, but at least twice adapted to their habitat by becoming smaller. For whatever reason, there's a selective pressure in the Flores habitat that promotes smaller body sizes, or at least shorter heights, among megafauna primates like humans. Now the question becomes, what is this selection pressure? What could be causing the resident populations to adapt by becoming shorter? Scientists aren't quite sure. They're not 100% sure. But to find out, they have to look at Flores and its local ecology and climate and start putting the clues together. The island is forested in the lowland areas and near the coastline, but at higher altitudes the trees thin out, and grasses and shrubs tend to dominate. It's been suggested that poor nutrition and a lack of predators led to the insular dwarfism in the human populations. But the island isn't totally devoid of predators. The Komodo dragons live here, and they're known to attack humans from time to time. Smaller humans would presumably be easier to hunt, kill, and eat. As you can see, there's still a lot of questions that are left unanswered. There's a lot of variables that we haven't pieced together yet. And the mystery about the dwarfism-inducing selection pressure on the island of Flores, that mystery remains unsolved.